Hey guys, welcome back. I hope you've enjoyed, part one. And now we are here to do part two. So, I was telling you, when I was in Ocherius and my mind was on Junior.
Okay.
So, when I got home, they were telling me, about Junior and oh, he's a hardworking young man, he's a Christian. He is single, and that was good for me. And so what they told me about Junior was, very interesting to me. I found the information um, somewhat what I wanted to hear. Everybody needs a hardworking, partner. Everybody needs somebody who, is God fearing. And the other thing that they said that was pretty interesting is that he is a handyman, meaning meaning he can fix anything. They say like when their phones need fixing, Juna is the one to call. When their computers need fixing, Juna is the one to call, and
Yeah, so me and Mr. Fix It. So she have a problem and I fix it.
So, couple of days, pass, and I remember one day I was at work, this particular day, and I not that I was not concentrating while I was doing my work and all that, but I remember that my mind was really on this guy.
She can't concentrate. I'm that good. Yeah.
So, after work, I asked one of the young lady to accompany me by his house because I haven't seen him that time for what 3 or 4 days. So
Mm-hmm.
they went with me, and like I said, there was no electricity at the house. So we went down there and we watched some movies, and then the weird thing about that we after watching the movies, we went home, and then the next day I went back, and for the week I went back, watching movies and talking to Junior and getting to know him more.
Yeah.
So the following week, that's when I don't know what happened, but one day after work, I went by his house, to watch TV, and we were there talking and laughing and having fun, getting to know each other more and more. And then I don't know what happened, but I ended up staying over for the night. Nothing happened that night. We just watched movies and
We just relax and
relax
talk
and
and
fell
went to bed.
asleep and went up in the morning, got stuff ready, went to work. And so, as time goes by, people, because we have to speed up this thing, because if we keep on talking everything, we
It will
won't.
never end.
Exactly. So, as time goes by, I remember one day when my ex, because when we broke up, he took most of my important papers, and he didn't want to give them to me.
So, people,
Hmm.
let me explain that part for you. She don't want to explain it. The guy was a weirdo. When they broke up, he hides all of her important documents. He never took them, he hides them.
Yeah.
So she had to leave and leave her papers behind. So out of the blues one day, he sent a message with the young lady, which
Yeah.
is our friend daughter,
Hmm.
so she can come and collect her papers, right? And she went up there in the evening to collect her papers. So I
Yeah.
was there wondering, um, where is she? I mean, it shouldn't take her long. It's not a far distance away. So I was there wondering what's up, and um, she went with my phone, so I ring the phone and I didn't get any answer. So I went to see a friend of mine. I said, let's take a walk and see what's going on. And same time, the lady of the house, that is our friend that she was staying with, come on, and we both walk up the hill to see what's going on. So when we went up there, she was on the veranda outside, kind of fighting,
Yeah, because
struggling between the gentleman and her
yeah,
because she wants to leave, and he forcefully pulled her into the yard, draw her all the way up to the veranda, and trying to get her into the house, and she was putting up a fight, and sudden all of a sudden, to in order to get away, she had to slam her hand into a glass window,
yeah.
and it got cut up.
Yes, so the only way that I could get away, you know, from that man out of that yard is by slamming my hand in the window. It broke, and the glass, from the window cut my wrist. So it was, there was so much blood because it was bleeding a whole lot. And at that point, I was so upset. I was so hungry. I just wanted to get out of there. So by then, he realized that there's a lot of blood and all that, and didn't want to get into any trouble. So he opened the gate, and I got out of the yard. I don't even know where Junior and a friend of his, along with the lady, came from. But I guess because, like he said, he was wondering where I was,
Yeah, I was a bit
because,
worried.
yeah. And he came looking for me along with the lady
Yeah, and a friend of
and a
yours.
friend. And that's when they found me with my hand all, bloodied
Bleeding and all
and
of that,
all of
yeah.
that. So, so he took me home. And the funny thing about it, all this time, I, like it happened to you, and you're thinking, what just happened? It's like you're taken away. You're so far away that you're walking and you don't even know that you're walking. But I thank God that Junior and his friend and that lady came that night. Anyway, they took me home, and Junior dressed my hand. He cleaned up really nicely, bandaged it and all of that. And the weird thing about it, I didn't even remember this, but in the morning he said to me, when I took you at his house, when he took me at his house, he cleaned my hand, and he bandaged it,
Yeah,
and
and dress it up really nice.
my clothes was all bloody and that, and he changed my clothes and put on one of his shirts on me because I didn't have any clothes there.
Yeah,
Put on one of his shirts on me, and I remember the last thing I said to him before I completely black out is I don't want to I want to stay with you. I don't want to leave because I was still scared and all that. So he said, and I want him to tell you this part.
I said to her, no problem. You can stay as long as you want. So when she wake up in the morning, I should not even remember a thing basically because she was a bit, shook up with the whole situation. So when she wake up in the morning, she was a bit surprised, thinking that she spent the night. I dressed her, take her clothes off, and nothing happened.
Yeah.
She was wow.
So
Um,
so
this is not normal.
yeah, because that's what I was saying when he told me. I was like thinking to myself, and I was like, no, this is strange because normally,
Most guys would take
yeah,
advantage
take
of a
advantage of
situation
the
like that.
situation, and he did not take advantage of me that night, and that's when I was saying this guy is really a good guy.
The fact that she was most vulnerable at that time.
Yeah,
And honestly, most guys would have used that opportunity to do something
exactly.
out of the way or inappropriate, but I really don't look at life like that. I mean, she's a lady and she's in a bit of a bind, so I'm just doing what I can to make a bad situation, as good as it can possibly be, I guess. So, actually, thought like that wasn't even going through my mind really. I wasn't thinking about anything inappropriate. I was just saying, you know what? She really needs some support and some love and attention. So I'm just going to do what I can to help the situation. And hey, that's what I did.
But I did get my papers back though.
Yeah, well, she did. She did get it back, which was good. So, I mean, it was some sad times right there, but we
Out of
came
that
out.
sad, yeah,
Yeah,
out of that sad times, something beautiful, came out of it because we are together and we're 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 pretty happy. We're okay, So
yeah.
it, God work in mysterious ways. So
And guys, remember, it wasn't a fall in love at first sight situation.
exactly, exactly,
It takes us time to get where we are now.
yeah.
Right? It's not easy. We have our ups and our downs. We have our good and bad times. So let me tell you, it's not a bed of rose. Um, it takes a lot of work
Hmm.
and effort and time because
And a whole lot of compromising
we have
because
our
we have,
faults.
yeah,
We
we
are not perfect people.
and we have our different ways and different likes and dislikes. But once we can come together, agree to disagree, then we can work through a whole lot of things.
Yes.
Yeah. So the part that I this is the most favorite part of the story that I really like is the day he decided to ask me to marry him. So he was going to work, right? And he was going to work, and he was working like
Things were a bit rough back then,
yeah.
right? So work was slow. I'm into construction,
Hmm.
as you know, it was slow, and um, my church had a campground a couple of miles away
Hmm.
from us, and they were doing some renovations, and the cottage, the little dorms that they have and stuff like that, and the kitchen, and
Hmm.
so they needed some painters and um, persons to work and stuff like that, carpenters and masons and all that. So I get a job working with the church, and a specific evening I was going
Hmm.
away, but
It was a morning.
was a morning, yeah, a
Yeah.
morning. But I was going to spend a whole week because the traveling back and forth
It's
would
really
be
far.
really difficult where
Hmm.
money is concerned. So we decided, she decided that you know what, go on, do whatever you have to do. Things is tight and we don't have it right now, and now you have the work, and we cannot let the fact that you have to travel to and fro be a problem when you can just stay on the campground and spend the week and then come home on the weekend. So I said to her, but there's nothing in the house and there's no money to left with you. And she turned to me and said, you know what? The Lord will provide.
Exactly.
Don't worry about a thing. Go and do what you must, and God will not leave me here alone with nothing. He will provide what I need when I need it.
And you know what he said? He said to me, when he was going was on his way, he was thinking about what I said, and he said, "Wow, I am going to marry this girl," because for a girl to for someone to say, "Go," there is nothing to leave for her in the house, but she say, "The Lord will provide." No, that's a good girl, and I have to marry that girl. So when he told me, when he finally asked me to marry him, it was my pleasure. It was really my pleasure.
Yeah, seriously. It's not very often you find young ladies who would, in such situation, would say or do something like that. Most of these young girls nowadays, as soon as they step out the door, someone will step in the door. But when she looked at me and said, you know what? Go on, the Lord will provide. Don't worry about a thing. I said to myself, no, no, I would be stupid not to hold on to this woman. I would be dumb if I really lose this woman. So I do the best thing I could, which turned out to be the best decision of my life. We are here today. It's almost, what, 10 years since we've been together, and it's 6 and something years since we've married. So,
We got two beautiful kids,
yes, two beautiful kids,
and we're still going strong.
and we're still going strong. Still love her. I would say and as much as I can, the best decision I've made. Love her.
Love
Even
you
though
too.
she's a pain in the butt sometimes, but it's a
So,
good type of pain.
so guys, I thank you so very much once again for watching. And please remember to like, comment,
And
and
subscribe.
subscribe. And thank you guys so very much for watching. Bye.
Leave a comment if you like our video.